We are officially back for episode 12.
Yeah. Hey, what you want Fridays, man? Back in action. 6 months in. Officially today's March 22nd. You know, we started this September 22nd. Today is our 6 month day, and it's like the best feeling ever. You know, to be consistent for so long. Um, all the people that we've met, everybody that's booked from Google, everybody that subscribed to our YouTube channel, everybody that left us a Google review, everybody that became a follower on Instagram, everything. Like every single person that's contributed within the past 6 months, we are super grateful for you. It's dope. Like it's dope. I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
So, what would you say one of your most challenging feats of detailing is, especially now, currently, not 6 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
What has been your most challenging feat within these past 6 months?
Within the past six is I'll say probably getting more people to book or figuring out exactly like the back end business of everything. You know, less about the actual physical job, but more about like the operations, the back end operations. You know, learning different operating systems for the website. I'll say marketing strategies, things like that. You know, like it's no right or wrong way of doing business and stuff like that. Like everything is kind of like I feel like this is it's like parenting. Like there's no right or wrong way of parenting. We have ideas of what's wrong, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that overall, I think that there's like no real right or wrong way of doing anything. It's just about what's suitable for you, for the person, you know, or for the company. So with our business model is very unique, you know, and the things that we looking to do, the way that we looking to scale, is very unique. So I think that like the operating systems on the back end, as well as like the like marketing to people so that way they could book or retention, those types of things. Like, you know, like I said, I wear many hats. So for me to uh, be less in doing the physical job, but the other hats that I wear, like door to door services, knocking on people's door, getting people, you know, the customer experience, all those things, like, you know, all those things count, you know, and it's beautiful because you start to see the effects of it. You think that you do something, you think that you plant a seed today and that it's going to grow today, and it doesn't. Like we've had people who we passed out a flyer, the first Pay What You Want event, September 22nd or that week of, and then they literally came by like a week ago for the first time. Like, you know, and it's just like
That's
literally
fire.
we're about to hit 6 months, and it's like, you'll have your moments in time that you thinking like man, like I don't think that, you know, I wonder if those people remember us and stuff like that, and then they pop up randomly. So I call those people like angels, man. You know, so stuff like that.
Okay. One thing that I did see, and I noticed that someone else that details found this as challenging, where people will book, but then they're late to their appointments, or either when you call them, they're unresponsive.
Absolutely.
How have you been able to deal with that when you've ran into that situation?
That's a great question. That's a great question. So the way that we've dealt with that situation is two things, right? One, on our site, we have a cancellation policy, right? Along with that, we also have where we take up front, and this is something that I learned from other industries, right? So although that we're in the detailing industry and that we do have like our you know our bookings and things like that, I started studying more of like uh women businesses, like so beauty shops, hair salons, people who do like eyelashes, nail techs, things like that. So one thing that I noticed in their field as opposed to what I was doing at the time is that they was taking retainers fee. At first I had it titled as a deposit, and then I learned the definition of what deposit versus retainers fee means. So the way that we was able to combat it at first, because even with the word deposit, I ran into some situations, right? where people would still either report back or get it back and things like that, get their money back even if they didn't come. Now with a retainers fee, what that is that that's something that where we was able to we take 30% up front or for any shot, let's say if it's like a paid booking, depending on whatever the price is. I knew that for out one thing that I noticed in their industry that they was doing, they was putting like a dollar amount. But I knew that for us, we wasn't able to do a set dollar amount because of the fact of our packages are greater in a sense as far as like financially, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and it goes based on the size of the vehicle. So being that that was a thing, I thought that a percentage was a better thing to do. So we ended up doing 30%, right? We ended up doing 30%, and with that, that actually locked the client in. And that helped with client retention. But then we did run into the problems where people weren't coming by, or they weren't remembering, or they wouldn't call to cancel, or they wouldn't do certain things. So what we did was, I still would just communicate. I would communicate. Not only do they receive an email or text message prior to the day before, they also get it 30 minutes before their service, an hour before, 15 minutes before. We still will call. We'll call the day before, like all these things, just to remind the client, hey, you got a booking, like so we'll do all that, and then we still ran into people who didn't show up, right? Or maybe they overslept and things like that. Now, at a point in time, I was a single father, right? I had the twins, Ava and Maya. So one thing that I realized was that there's times where I overslept or I overworked myself and things like that. So I'm very understanding, and I think that there's ways that you could go about person to person. You could understand their character, right? And you can understand how you say it. What's the word? Like you can understand like that they're being genuine.
So like where they're really coming from, like you said, a genuine place.
A genuine place. Yeah. So reading that, like I was able to person to person, I was able to go along with it. So I had a client where she literally overslept, but she was attempting to do a good deed for her nephew. But she just overslept past her booking. So one thing that I did was communicated with her. I understood that she was tired, and I heard discomfort, and she was upset because again she knew she was gonna get her retainers fee back. But I told her, I was like, look, instead of me adding on extra fees and things like that to you, look, let's just reschedule a separate day. So she ended up scheduling a separate day, and I told her, I was like, look, I'm gonna be on you all week this week, just to remind you. But that's the extra step that I took on just to make sure that this person was able to still stop by. And not only did they stop by, she ended up being our 50th client, our 50th Google review. We also gave her a free full detail on top of that, and she also recommended like her husband, her family members to come to us and stuff like that. So just being a good person, a good human, first ended up bringing more clients back and things like that. So now again, like I said, everybody's business model isn't like that. You have some people or some businesses out there that
are shrewd.
They're shrewd. They're not gonna do that. Like that they're not gonna take that extra step. But with us, like number one for us is customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction. So yeah. So yeah, customer satisfaction. Thank you.
I was gonna get you. I was gonna get you right, but nah, y'all knew what he meant.
Y'all heard me struggling. Y'all knew what I meant. Nah, definitely. That was a great question.
Thank you.
That was a great question.
But I feel as though, like, especially with how we see like society, inflation, things of that nature, what are some of the things that you've done in order to keep your budget sustainable so that you're still able to operate in this manner?
Man, I think that starting off, man, you got to meet the universe halfway. Like, so even though that we do a pay what you want, as you see, we 6 months in, not every day we able to, not every time starting off or even later on, you go through your days. Like, you may not be able to cover, the overhead budget or anything like that, or you may not have made what you needed for the day for that. However, it's saving, it's planning for a rainy day, like like things like that. And then as far as like when it come down to the clients and things like that, you have other days. We might have a Google booking that ends up paying for what we missed and things like that. So it's just like with this day, like we'll pay what you want. We're not intending to make crazy amount of money in a day. If it comes, then that's a blessing, and we're grateful for it. But if it doesn't, we still feel fulfilled when we leave, like, you know, when we go back home and things like that, like, you know, because we're intending to do something great for the community and for the people. And with that, just, you know, like I said, the universe, like, we able to be blessed back in different forms and fashion that we don't even know, like, you know, like, so those things come as a surprise to us, same way how pay what you want and the concept of that is a surprise to y'all. So, you know, those types of things don't really trip on. Just save your money.
That's save your money. Make like, you sure know, you have a rainy day fund.
Exactly. Just save every penny, save every dollar. Don't go for the things that's wanted. You know, save for the things that's needed. Only purchase the things that's needed. A solid team, solid family, solid foundation is extremely important. You know, keep your mind right. You know, and it's a lot that goes into that. Like, you know, like, it's a lot that goes into that. But those are the things that has been helping us. You know, so definitely.
Brother Stacker just dropped some gems on y'all. Man. I hope you was paying attention.
Come on, man. It's only gonna get deeper. It's only gonna get deeper, man.
Well, I know you're in the middle of detailing. I'm not gonna hold you up too much.
No doubt,
but thank you for tapping in with episode 12.
Yo, come on, man.
Of A&A Detailing.
Make sure that y'all run those other episodes back, man, because we got some great gems. But as you see, from 10 to the season 2, we wildin'. Like, we going crazy. Like, you know, so, you know, it's a lot more to come from that and stuff like that, man. So please just tap back in. And if you haven't already, come see us, Virginia Beach, Wesleyan Drive, 5393, Wesleyan Drive, number 108, Universal Cuts Barbershop. We in the back of it. Come check us out. You know, and if you already been here, come right back.
That's it. Bottom line. Come back.
Absolutely.
Somebody get hot outside,
come
y'all.
On, man. Come on. See y'all later.